Hello, welcome back to the Scenic Route with your girl Jovanna. It's been too long since I've created one of my little videos. There was a lot going on in my life, right? I was moving and renovating and getting married. So yes, I am back to doing videos. I hope you'll enjoy this one. These are my lessons from a film set. Let's get right to it.
Ever since the day that you went away, you've been sending flowers to me.
So as some of you know, I just got done filming a project, a movie. I played the lead. So it's a fantastic story. I learned so many things playing the lead in a feature film that was shot in 2 weeks. Is that ambitious? Yes. Most often, feature films, a full-fledged movie is filmed sometimes in several weeks, and that's ambitious. Months, even years. You've heard of those. Perseverance. So for me, perseverance is when you keep at it, when you keep going, push through. It's a matter of like staying in it when the toughest, most challenging aspect of the project or of the experience or of the adventure, whatever it is before you. Oftentimes it's the halfway point that you're like, oh my gosh, how are we gonna do this? How are we gonna pull through? How is this gonna get done? Because when you are at the halfway mark or approaching the halfway mark, you're like just bombarded with all these questions and all these like doubts and challenges, right? That's when you're like, wow, what did I sign up for? Wow, I did not expect this to be so hard. Wow, I'm tired. Oh wow, how am I gonna finish this in 2 weeks or 4 weeks? Whatever the task, whatever the timeline. It's at the halfway point when we are often the most challenged. And that's when we determine how bad we want it. So at that halfway point, or whatever the point is for you, it could be at the 3/4 mark, that's when you have to establish that you're gonna do it no matter what. And that is when perhaps it might be the bleakest, but that's when you have to dig deep and follow through. If you want something, you gotta work towards it. If you want to complete a task, you gotta do what's necessary to get to the other side. So perseverance is one of the most biggest lessons I had, because there were points where I was like, oh my Lord, this is tough. There were days where I had so much dialogue. We were doing 11 scenes a day. That's a lot. That's very ambitious. And there was a lot of dialogue, and there was a lot of wardrobe changes and costume changes and makeup changes as a female, hair changes, hair curly, straight, my hair's fried. But that's when, like, you know, if there's ever a time to dig deep and find all the strength and all the desire that you want to accomplish this goal, that's the time to go for it and find it and hold on to it and let it pull you through. So perseverance was key. So the other thing I learned was to stay in joy, right? It is so easy sometimes to be impacted or influenced by external forces or beings that perhaps aren't as positive. It's so important to stay in joy. Whatever we do, whatever I do, I want to do it in joy. And I want it to be easy, and I want it to be seamless. Doesn't always work out that way, but that's my intention, that's my desire. And every morning before I went to set, that was my my prayer in the morning, was like, please God, let today be easy, smooth sailing, and let us encounter what we need to encounter and ride through it. So for me, it was really important to establish that intention every single morning. I wanted to stay in joy, that despite whatever challenge we were presented with, and we were presented with challenges, that's normal and to be expected, that I could ride it out in joy, with a smile, with ease, with grace. That was intentional on my part. And I think it's really important when it comes to big projects or big concepts or big ideas or big wishes and desires. Stay in joy. It makes life so much easier. It makes your experience of things so much more enjoyable. And I really believe that was one of the key factors for me throughout, was to stay in joy, regardless of what was going on. And remember, it takes more energy and more facial muscles to frown than it does to smile. So perhaps if you need to fake it till you make it, okay. But I'm more a fan of look at it, establish it, reframe it, and approach it from a perspective of happiness and joy, because that will make the end result so much more enjoyable and so much more beneficial to everybody around. Okay, so here's another thing I learned. It was to keep your energy in check. Yes, energy and endurance is so important for a long-standing project, in the case of filming a movie. So we need to keep pace and we need to nourish our energy. Yes, eating well and exercise and all these different external producing habits and tactics are uber important. Yes. However, what about protecting your energy? You want to make sure that you don't permit any of the circumstances or any of the obstacles or any of the others on set to impose their perspective or perhaps their negativity onto you. So there are people and energies, and we feel them, that can deplete us, that can sap us of our energy. So it is so important to just protect yourself and your surroundings, your immediate surroundings. I call it being a bubble. I know it's not the first time you've heard it, but that's the one I always use. It's like my own little bubble. I put a little bubble protective layer around me so that if somebody is negative or someone is, encroaching on your space, it's like, no. I'm in my bubble. I'm going to protect my energy, and I'm going to make sure that your negativity or your pessimism or your exhaustion, because it could just be someone who's tired. It's like, no, don't make me tired. I need to keep going. Don't tell me you're tired. And those are the sorts of little things that when I say protect your energy, don't let others saying like, oh, I didn't sleep well, I haven't slept, impose on your energy levels. So keep your energy levels in check. Another thing I really learned, I think this is the fourth, but who's counting, right? To focus on the here and now. It's so important to know what's happening, to be aware of your surroundings, to be okay with what's happening, and to focus on what you can do now. What happened yesterday, what happened an hour ago, what happened 10 minutes ago is the past. Nothing you do is going to be able to change that. So focus on the now. What you got to do in 5, 10, 20 minutes or tomorrow or 3 days from now is none of your business at this moment in time. Focus on the now, because if you dwell on what just happened that perhaps you might not be happy about, you are stealing from your enjoyment of this moment. If you worry or preoccupy yourself of what has to happen or what's coming next, then you're not fully engaged in what you have to do right now. Focus on the here and now. It is so important. And I learned it even more so in a situation like this, as I was filming, because there were so many times where, as the actor, and I'm going to start talking some actor speak here, you're taught be in the moment. And you're like, okay, I wasn't in the moment, I was in my head. And you hear all these terms thrown around in acting classes, on the set, and it can be extremely confusing. And it can be entirely exhausting to be dwelling on all these different things simultaneously. However, when you focus on the here and the now, in actors' term, being in the moment, then you have one thing or the present moment that you are concerning yourself with. And that gives you so much strength and so much perspective on things, and it protects you from worrying about the past or anticipating the future. Being in the here and now, being in the moment, being present, enjoying this moment is all we have. As an actor, if you concern yourself with what just happened, you can't deliver on the now. And again, in actor speak, in the moment is what we all strive for. So stay focused on the here and the now. The rest will happen. Believe me, life continues and the rest will unfold, and you'll be privy to what the future is when you get to that future point in time. In life, on a film set, it does not matter. In life, today is the present. Now is a gift. So you have to enjoy the here and now, and that will help in so many other ways. And the last thing I am going to talk about that I learned on the film set is to focus on the end game. That might be a little contradictory to what I just said, but that's not what I mean. What I mean is stay true to your purpose. Stay true to the reason why you wanted to do what you're doing. In this case, this project. It was a passion project, right? It wasn't the sort of thing where I was getting paid gabillions of dollars to show up. I had to remind myself why it was that I signed up for this. Why it was so compelling to me, why I needed to bring this character to life. What was it about this character that compelled me to drop everything, including a new husband, and focus entirely on this moment in time, on this character, on this film? What was it about her? What was it about the mission and the vision that propelled me to say yes to this role? It's so important to remember your why. We hear this all the time. Why did you become an actor? Why did you say yes to this project? Why is it that this is important to you? And what it is that you want to accomplish, or how it is that you want to live. Why do you want to do this? And that is the end game that is so important to keep front and center, because I wanted to give a voice to the voiceless, because I wanted to provide an outlet for teens who are struggling with mental health or with suicidal thoughts. Those are the reasons why this project, this message, this story, this character was so important to me at the onset of this project. 4 years ago was when I auditioned for this project. 4 years ago. We did the proof of concept. We did the fundraising, right? The Indiegogo. That was year 1, year 2. Year 3, we were supposed to shoot. And guess what? The world came to a stop. Out of our hands, out of our control. We just had to postpone our desire and our intention of bringing this story to life until the world made it so that we were safer in doing so. Focus on the end game, what it is and why it is that it is so important for you to keep true and keep going. Because at the end of the day, so many things are gonna get in our way. It's just life. It's the nature of the game. It's just being alive. Real life challenges in everything, whether it's producing and shooting a movie, or whether it's going back to school for your college degree or your high school degree. Whatever the case is, you're gonna be confronted with bumps and hurdles and obstacles, and that is part of showing you what it is and how much it is that you want something. So focus on what that end game is and the benefit of it so that you can stay in it. Because the name of the game is showing up and keeping going. You gotta keep going. We will not, I will not achieve my goals if I don't keep going. If I don't wake up every day with the intention and desire to continue to show my art and to be an artist, then my art will die inside of me. And I know I did not come on this earth at this moment in time for me to die with my art, my song, my acting inside of me. It is meant to be showcased, and I have a platform such as this movie to showcase what I can and to give back in a way that I could have never ever dreamt of. Or I did dream of it. That's why it happened, right? So keep going, y'all. When it feels the most difficult, keep going. When the viewership isn't there, when you have no likes, when you have no new subs, when you have no new fill in the blank, keep going. That's when we learn what we're made of. That's when we get the strength and the perseverance to push through. And that is what I learned on the movie set. So I hope you enjoyed this message. I hope you will consider subscribing and pressing the like button before. I don't even know and remember what I'm supposed to say, but I just wanted to come to you with another video of my lessons learned, and hopefully you can take away something in and for your own life. So I hope you will consider subscribing and liking this video so that YouTube knows that I'm back and that maybe they'll share my videos with more people. Thank you so much. Sending lots of love. Bye for now.